Hello, everybody. This is Sun Random Neko, waking up from my nap to greet the world for the day. And by greet, I mean acknowledge Black History Month with one of the many excellent films that brings African American history to the big screen, as well as finally watch the film that dominated my YouTube Shorts recommendations for a period of time due to the mysterious logic of the YouTube algorithm. Hidden Figures. As the United States races against Russia to put a man in space, three brilliant African American women who work at NASA as human computers, Katherine Goebel Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, cross gender and race lines in order to rise through the ranks and become part of one of the greatest operations in history, the launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit. Hidden Figures is an inspirational story that respectfully portrays the journey of grit, determination, and persistence that Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary embarked on in order to achieve their goals and become a vital part of NASA during a time when they'd sooner be torn down than given a chance. It manages to handle the topics of racism, sexism, segregation, and discrimination without making it feel like you're being preached to or lectured at by letting the actions of the characters and the reactions to their environment do all the talking. The bathroom sequence especially had excellent build-up and payoff, with Catherine's raw and powerful speech which led to the satisfying reaction of Harrison knocking down the bathroom sign. The story was also great at showing the progression to acknowledgement and appreciation for the women in a manner that wasn't obnoxious or smug, instead using quiet actions that were callbacks to previous events and changes in the way the women were addressed by their peers. The entire cast was great, especially Taraji Henson as Catherine, Janelle Monáe as Mary, and Octavia Spencer as Dorothy. All three of them knocked it out of the park with their portrayals, and I really loved the friendship and natural chemistry they had with each other. The rest of the cast did amazing jobs in their respective roles as well, though it was a bit of a shock to see Jim Parsons play a role that wasn't Sheldon Cooper, but he did do good here. In addition, the film isn't 100% historically accurate as it's a biopic, not a documentary, which means plenty of creative liberties were taken and dramatic interpretations made of events that did or didn't happen in real life. This meant that there were age discrepancies for minor characters. The timeline of events didn't really match with real life. Certain characters didn't exist. The bathroom sign scene never happened as NASA was desegregated, though its predecessor, NACA, was not. And it was Mary, not Catherine, who had to take those long trips to the bathroom. But all these discrepancies, inaccuracies, and more are excusable because, again, this is a biopic, not a documentary, and a very respectful one that creates good drama that makes the journeys of Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary feel much more inspirational and gets you interested in learning more about who these hidden figures were. In regards to production, it was fine. The film had solid cinematography, good lighting, well-built sets, and decent editing. The music was solid as well, and I greatly enjoyed listening to it. But I'm not too surprised by this because the soundtrack was done by Pharrell Williams, and the scores were a joint effort with Pharrell, Hans Zimmer, and Benjamin Wallfisch, so I'd be more surprised if the music wasn't great. The film also used quite a bit of archival footage, which helped recreate the feelings of anticipation, frustration, nerves, pride, and joy felt throughout the nation during that period of the space race. And the costumes were exceptionally well done. They were very fashionable and highly praised for their historical accuracy and authenticity, which is more than some films can say nowadays. Now, as much as I enjoyed the amazing story of Hidden Figures, it's unfortunately not that great of a film. But before I get into that, I want to address some criticism that I don't quite agree with. Some have accused the film of promoting the white savior trope with Harrison, and while I can see what they're saying, I didn't get that feeling from him at all. I felt that Harrison was more a boss who's trying to reach a goal but he can't because his best employee keeps experiencing major inconveniences that delay her work, so he takes matter into his own hands and removes those inconveniences so she can do the work he needs her to do so he can finally reach his goal. And while I could be wrong in this interpretation, I'd still like to offer it as food for thought for anyone willing to try it. Now back to my actual criticism. The pace of the story seemed really weird throughout the entire film. I feel this is mainly due to how the story's broken up with looks into the personal lives of Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary, slipped in between the drama going on with work. While I do like how this helps make them feel more human and thought the relationship between Catherine and Jim was cute, I felt the personal drama that didn't have anything to do with how their jobs affected their lives outside of work, distracted from the plot and added drama that didn't need to be there, especially with how out of place its insertion felt sometimes. But the biggest problem I have with this film is how unbalanced the story is, as it was more focused on Catherine than on all three women equally. And while her contributions were definitely important, the film made it seem like she was the key to the whole operation, and was more important than Mary, whose job involved building the capsule, and Dorothy, who programmed and supervised the IBM. As much as I love learning about Catherine, this biopic isn't supposed to only be about her. It's supposed to be about her, Dorothy, and Mary. I wish Dorothy's conflict with Vivian got more attention and there was a better showing of the effort she put in to stay ahead of the curve and look after her girls. I wish Mary's drama with her husband wasn't there because it didn't go anywhere or matter much in the end anyway, so why bother showing it? I wish they focused more on her work and the mentorship relationship she had with Carl Zelinsky. And I also wish the film gave an acknowledgement to the other hidden figures that couldn't be included in the story. Like at least had a sequence in the credits listing out all the other people involved so they can get the public acknowledgement they rightfully deserved. Overall, Hidden Figures gets a B+. It's a solid film that manages to present the struggles and triumphs of Catherine, Dorothy, and Mary in a manner that's amazing, inspirational, and without feeling as if the story is taking too many creative liberties just to create drama for the sake of it. The story also presents and navigates through the time period of racism, sexism, segregation, and discrimination without making it feel like the audience is being preached to or lectured at. However, there were some flaws in pacing, and I wish the story had a more balanced focus on all three women instead of feeling more like a biopic about Catherine, with Dorothy and Mary just along for the ride. The film's production was solid all around, with a great soundtrack and historically accurate costumes that were highly praised by all. The cast was also amazing, with Taraji Henson, Janelle Monáe, and Octavia Spencer all deserving awards for how brilliantly they played their roles. And while sure the story isn't 100% historically accurate, Hidden Figures is still an inspirational film that brings to light the unacknowledged, who played an important role during an important time in history, allowing these hidden figures their chance to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight to finally receive the recognition they rightfully deserve. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Reminder that this is just my opinion, so you can take it with as many grains of salt as you want. I don't mind either way, and would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment which film you'd like me to give my 2 cents about next. This is some random Neko, going off to browse through the history section of my local library and bookstores now. Don't forget to keep calm and just meow.